Hey crafty cuties, welcome to the last video in this junk trunk series. Today I'm basically just going to go through, we have our book all bound together. It's pretty much just ready to add some final touches. A lot of you know that I normally would have decorated my pages and added a ton of sewing before I bound my book, but I did this one a little backwards and I'm really happy I did because I think this is an easier process for maybe a beginner or someone who's just becoming a little overwhelmed with the entire process that junk journals tend to have. So today we are going to add embellishments. I'm going to show you how you can still add some sewing detail into your journal afterwards, and we're just going to hop right in. So these are the leftover papers that I have from the kit that were not pages. And as you can see, this kit comes with a ton of embellishments. So I have these all gathered together. I even printed out this page that I included as a printable in the digital portion of the kit, which I will have the link below this video if you want to get to that easily. And there's probably also some linens available as a printable, but at the time of me filming this, I don't have those ready. And then I have everything else together that we made, so the decoupage tags and the little paper clips that we made, and then I have my little bag that has like a doily and other little goodies. So we're going to start with the cut aparts that we have here. And I'm just going to go through and cut everything out. I'm going to do this at once. I also gathered some coffee dyed paper that I've just had in my stash for a while, and I'm going to use these along with these to make some really pretty sewn embellishments. So I'm going to cut all of these out and I will be right back. So I went through and just cut out some of my favorites because there are so many. I cut that many out and I still have all of this left. So you have a ton to play with, but I wanted to keep this video, under an hour. So now what I'm going to do is go through and lightly glue them down to some coffee dyed paper. You don't have to do this step. This is just something extra that I like to do. And I really don't need to add the glue. It's just going to make it a little bit quicker for me when I sew because everything is in place. So I'm just gonna add a little teeny border to them, and I'm just going to go through and kind of pick some of them so I can fit them all on here. And I may even use this vintage ledger paper as a back for a few of them. I'm just going to continue gluing these on here. And just a little tip, if you don't have coffee dyed paper or you don't want to make any, you can also use a pretty scrapbook paper to make your pieces a little bit more sturdy and prettier. So now that we have everything on our pages, we are going to head over to the sewing machine and we're going to basically border each piece, and it's just going to be a lot easier because we have it all in one piece. And then I'm also going to sew around the edges of this pocket, and you can keep in mind where you're going to fold. There's little fold marks on here, and that way you can just sew in the areas that are going to be visible once you have this all put together. Okay, so I just chose a fun stitch that I want, and I have some colored thread, and I just use a regular sewing needle when I am sewing paper, and I don't do anything special, honestly. So I have my page here, and I'm just going to go ahead and just sew around the borders of every single piece on here. And I am standing up to sew this so that I can film it, so I'm not at the greatest position, but I'll just show you a few to give you an idea. So guys, I did go ahead and speed this part up, and I just wanted to let you know that I realize you can't see super close what I'm doing, but I wanted to give you a couple tips when sewing paper. One is that you may want to make sure that your stitch length is not too close together. I usually select mine at about 2.5, and then the other thing is to just take your time and go slow and make sure not to sew too close to the edge, just because I have found that it can rip a little bit easier. But I use a regular needle and regular thread with mine, and I've really never had an issue, and I really love the sewing machine that I use here, which is the Brother Project Runway sewing machine. I find that it works perfect for my paper. I've had it for a while now. All right, so I went ahead and I sewed most of them. These ones are a little bit more difficult. You can do it if you want to take the time. I'm going to go ahead and cut these all out, and I'm going to probably leave a little bit of a border of the coffee dyed paper just because I like that. And then on the little pocket here, I figured we would assemble that together. So I went ahead and sewed on just the top so that you can see it when we fold that together. And I'll just go ahead and do that right now so we can use that. So I'm just going to use some of my regular Tombow Mono Aqua Glue. I'm just going to kind of eyeball that and just add a little bit of glue here. And I love the sewing look on these pockets because I feel like it looks like you put a lot of effort into it when really you just cut it out and added a little bit of sewing. So then we'll glue that up, and then you have a really cute little pocket. So I'm going to go through and cut some of these out and we'll finish them off. All right, let's take a moment to appreciate how gorgeous Tsunami Rose is. Her designs are just gorgeous, and I am always blown away when I use one of her kits. And I have to just say that I'm so excited that we were able to include this in the spring junk trunk. So with that said, now that we have these cut out, they are lined with paper, and we are ready to kind of embellish and finalize our journal. So I'm going to be including or adding some of these. I may add some of the decoupage tags and little bags that we made. Some of the printables that I have some of the paper clips, and these are all videos that we made in this series together. I also have some of the little bits and pieces from this embellishment kit that came with our book, or sorry, with the kit. And we're just gonna open up, and I'm just gonna kind of start at page 1. I do want to keep this somewhat a lot of space available. I want to keep it somewhat plain, I guess. So I'm not going to add too much, but we have a lot to work with, and I really like having a big selection to work with. So to start off, I definitely want to cover this with some lace, and I have a piece of lace here. So I'm just going to kind of measure that and cut that off. But I also love having pockets at the beginning of my book. So for right now, I'm just going to use this Tombow because it's right here. However, I would honestly, if I was just gluing lace on, I would probably use hot glue gun. I think that it's a lot more permanent than this glue when it comes to lace. So keep that in mind, but this will be pretty. And so then I said I wanted to have a pocket for this inside cover. And I really was thinking that it would be cute to use one of these printouts if it would fit. And I think it's actually the perfect size. So this is an awesome thing to do because this looks like we have sewn on the pocket. However, I'm just going to use some glue here. And I'm just going to add a pretty generous line of glue around the 3 sides that will not be open. And I do want to make sure this doesn't seep in too much, so I don't know, you just got to use the right amount of glue. Okay, and then we're going to just add this right here. We're just going to line that up, and then you have a great pocket for the inside, which is perfect for maybe a library tag, or if you want to have some kind of information in the beginning of your book. And this isn't dry yet, so I probably shouldn't be sticking stuff in here, but just to give you an idea. This is a great way, guest check is a great way to kind of maybe add the dates that your book is going to include. And so I'm just gonna add that on. We could also, I really like decorating that front cover, pretty crazy, pretty embellished. So I'm also gonna add one of the paper clips that we had made, and I love that. Then we can go ahead and move on. And I think for this first page, I'm going to add one of the little labels here. And I'm just going to actually add glue to that entire back because I'm just going to glue it all the way down. And I keep the strings because I like to have a little bit of thread showing throughout my book, especially since I did not sew anything in this book. And guys, I gotta apologize. I'm actually having a very nauseous day today in this pregnancy. This is the first day that I have felt nauseous in a while, so I've had to take a lot of breaks, which you may not have noticed. Okay. For this side, we have a lot of white pages, and I'm okay with that for this book, but I'm going to go ahead and just glue down. That's glued down, and just because I have my things out here, I'm going to add just a regular manila tag that I have, because I want a little bit of things, or a few things that you can pull out and journal on separately. I'll keep this page separate, I think. We have a little glassine bag here, so maybe I'll go ahead and just add a piece of ephemera in here, something to journal on, and that's just always fun to have something kind of stick out. Maybe I will actually add, okay, I'm going to keep this one blank, but the next blank page we have I'll decorate. I'm going to try my hardest to keep some white. Okay, so for this little floral, I'm actually going to put glue on just like the bottom and maybe upper side so that we can have a little tuck spot. And then you can tuck in a photo or something like that. A little bit different than a pocket, and it decorates the page. Then what else do we have to work with? We have a lot of different things. You know, I have this sample of wallpaper, and this would actually be fun to sew so that it looks like a sewn pocket. But I'll set that to the side for right now. I do like adding fabric. Let's see. Maybe I will actually grab my stapler, and I'm going to cut this little fabric swatch that I have here in half. And just decorate this little tag just a little bit more. And I'm just going to fold this over like that. And I'm just going to staple it on. And then you have a cute little tab on your tag there. And that kind of gave me an idea that I could use the other piece of fabric. I'll actually cut this in half so that I can get more use out of it. And I'm going to make a couple more tabs on the pages so that they stick out. So I'm just going to kind of pick a couple here, pick a couple random ones here. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and, if you can see this, I'm just going to do that same thing where I kind of fold it over, and then I'm going to staple it on. And then we can staple the next one on the same way, but I'm going to put it a little bit lower. And I put a page inside, upside down, but that's okay. Okay, for this one, I'll put this maybe in the middle of the book here. And then I'll staple that one on as well. Then you have a couple fun tabs. So now let's go to that page that I just found out I put upside down so that we can fix that. Where did you go, page? I must have been seeing things, or maybe I'll come across it. I can't find the page that I thought was upside down, so that's okay. We'll get to it if it's there. Okay, so we have some decorations going on. This, I put 2 strips of paper, and I was thinking that I could make it into a pocket, and I think I'll do that. And so I'm just gonna add glue around the bottom. And they didn't line up perfectly, so you can see I didn't put the glue all the way down to the bottom, because when I press that over, there's a little white stripe there because I didn't line it up perfectly, but that's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and put a journaling card in here. There we go. Keep that white. There were a couple pages that I put back to back, so if you can see, the whites are touching, and so I did that so that I could make this into a full page pocket, and I'm going to do that by adding glue to the bottom and up the side. This is such a quick and easy way. You can staple, you can sew them together, whatever you would like, and then you just simply do that. And it's kind of like a hidden pocket too, but if you don't want it to be hidden, if you want it to be more obvious, go ahead and take like a circle punch and then just make a little notch at the top here so that it's obviously a little pocket. And I'm going to go ahead and use one of the decoupage tags to slip in there, just so we have something to work with, like so. And that looks cute because we have the little ribbon at the top of that tag that will peek through the top of the journal. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to make this one into a pocket as well, just because I placed those back to back. And then we'll have 2 pockets. So there's going to be a lot of room in here for storing things. And this book has plenty of room to put more into it since I did leave it pretty blank. And I am happy for that. And let's see, do I want to add another ephemera piece or what? I'll keep that one just blank for now, not put anything in it. And then we're going to go through. I'm just going to leave this be, but I could make that into another pocket if I wanted. We'll keep that. Actually, you know what we'll do here? Let's see. I'm going to take one of my little pockets here and I'm just going to glue the entire back. And I'm going to put that right here. And then I'm going to see, I'm wondering if this little piece will fit in here. I think it will. Oh, that fits perfect. So then we have a little place to journal, and you can still add something on this page if you'd like. This is the back of a tag, so this might be cute to add. Oh, this is perfect. This is an ephemera piece right here, and I'm going to make this into a pocket. I love adding pockets, and I think most people do for junk journals, but I'm gonna go like that. I could grab some washi tape also and make some of these things do like a little flip. So I'll do this pocket blank without anything in it, but I will add a paper clip like this, just so you can tell that it's actually a pocket, kind of like that. And then, let's see. I also want to make use of some of these paper clips that I made. So I'm going to take, let's see, we'll go on to the next page here, and I'm going to take this little mini envelope that I have, and I'm just going to clip this onto the side, but I'm going to clip it sideways so that this little fabric will stick out. I love having things stick out. If you don't, that's okay. This is the back of my glassine envelope, and I haven't cut it yet, so I am just going to cut the bottom so that it's a pocket as well for more storage. And then I'm just going to throw this little card in here, I think. Right side up would be good. And then let's see, I did want to make a flip, so I'm going to take this one right here, take some cute washi tape that I have, and just kind of put this towards the top, and then I'm going to just try to make that as straight as possible. Put some washi on the top here, and then that will flip up, and I'm going to put some washi on the back of it too, just so it will stick in there good. And then you can really have that whole page for journaling, but you can maybe write some dates on here that you're working with or that you're, you know, doing memory keeping about if you would like. So let's go through and add a few more things. I could make another pocket page out of this if I wanted. I'm just going to keep it blank for right now. I feel like I'm adding lots of pockets and things. So this, I think I'm just going to glue on as like a little decoration. Like so. I have a doily as well that I was thinking about using. Like there's almost too much stuff to use. That's how much good stuff is in here. Here is the page that I had upside down. So let's fix that. And I'm just gonna place this on the bottom here. I'm gonna make it into, you know, a pocket. Why not? And really it doesn't have to end up being a pocket. Like if you're going through here and you're like, oh, this would be a cute kind of background for a photo or something, then that's fine. You just place the photo on top. But that way, if you wanted, you can have it as a little pocket. So I'm gonna stick just another little mini envelope that I have in here. And I am doing this all before it dries, so I do recommend having your stuff dry before you start filling it, but that's what we gotta do. And there's a number at the top, which it's upside down, doesn't really matter up here, but I'm gonna put a little piece of my washi tape over that. And then we can find the other side of this upside down page. Where did you go? And it might not even be obvious. I think it's this page right here, so no. Anyways, I'll come across it. I don't know what, oh, here we go. So for this side, I'm just gonna actually add some washi tape down at the bottom. and I'm not too worried about it anyways. There we go, like so. This, I folded the pages up, but I didn't glue them because I was trying to make this pretty quick, and so now I am going to add glue along the edge right there and over here, just to kind of finish that off, like so. And I'll go ahead and place one of the tags that I made into a printable in there. And I know I've skipped a few pages just because, again, I really do want to keep some pages blank, and I probably shouldn't have stuffed that in there yet, but that's okay. It will eventually dry. And, you know, I think this probably gives you enough ideas. I feel like you could go on and on with the things that we have here. I think I said I was going to use one of the doilies. I'm going to keep this as a little flip out there. Let's see. We'll add the doily right here. And I think I'm just going to fold it in half like so. And then I'm just going to put it on the edge here. And I'm actually going to use my stapler for this one. Put a staple at the bottom, all along the side, so that we can use it as a tuck spot. You could use glue as well. I like the look of staples, to be honest, so I just ran out, but that's okay. That is enough there. And then we can stick in a little journaling card, and that fits perfect in there. So I'm guessing that this probably gave you lots of ideas for how to finish up your books, and I hope that you have fun with your books. I'm going to put this tag right here just to kind of finish that off. And I'm going to put this down here. And then one more thing I wanted to use, I have a little bulb pin. And I'm going to actually just clip that on to the edge. Grab a button. I'm just going to clip it onto the little ribbon here. And I'm also going to take a little button and actually just put the button on the end of the bulb pin like that. And just kind of flip it through right there just for a little dangle on the edge of our books. So that's definitely getting more full. And so, yeah, I feel like this was a really fun way to decorate the book. It was a little bit out of my comfort zone, a little backwards for me, but I really like the end result. And so if you guys have any questions, leave them below. If you have any tips or tricks on how you like to embellish your books, feel free to leave that down below. And I had a really great time making this book with you. I cannot wait to see what your outcome is with your own journals, and I hope that you will share them on Instagram or in the Facebook group. Please be sure to tag me. I just realized that we didn't use our wallpaper here, so you know what, just if you're still here, you're still working with me, we'll do one more here. And let's see. This isn't completely straight, but that's okay with me. Some of the wallpaper samples that were included will vary in size. Some of them are not super big, so you can still make little pockets and little tuck spots out of them though, and I just thought, honestly, even you can make like a little embellishment or something like that. But it would be cute to go ahead and sew around the edges, but I'm just going to stick mine in pretty quick here. Actually, I feel like I have a lot going on in this little area. See, this is what happens, and I'm sure you guys can relate. It's hard to stop once you get going, but that is part of the fun. So just stick that down like so. And there we go. I'm just going to hold that on for a moment. So, guys, I will see you in the next video or in a future video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.